Oh, today is such a day, now is it? I've been working on if I got one page finished of the Lame Dimension comic, now I'm doing the line art for the second page. And hopefully in this stream we'll get them all done, but I'm not certain. It'll all depend. And it doesn't help that as the title say, I've been addicted to Majora's Mask. So, and just started watching some videos of it, or at least a video, and then it's like, oh, I haven't played Majora's Mask in a while, I should play it again, and I'm addicted to it again. I'm trying to 100% it and everything. I'm kind of considering doing a let's play on it, but I'm not certain. It might be. It is not a hard game. It's not a hard game to grasp. That's still a big maybe. We're going to the Switch, back to the Wii U, and at least I won't have Joy-Con drift. Well, sometimes controller drift, but that's like, it's fine. It's like it's just an instant reconnect and it'll work fine unless I move it again. So it works well, it'll be fine. But aside from that, I said that Monday would either be drawing or game, and I decided that I'm gonna go ahead and do some drawing this time because God, I haven't been keeping up with that lately. And plus, even the next Tuesday when we do Warrior Land 4, keep saying WarioWare, chances are it's gonna be finished, and I don't have a game to play next after it, so it might be a while. Aside from that, let's get started. By nothing. There's a drawing. No, the bunnies are in the right place. There's only three. You know what? There's only three of them. I didn't do that on purpose. We're gonna leave them there. And zoomed into Lily's chest. That always goes well. And also, I am having my mic on this time. Don't you worry. I don't know if I should put that in the description or anything. I should put that in the title. What am I saying? I'm gonna get rid of Lame Dimension comic because I think that's a little on the nose. Which won't appear. Changing the thing, changing the name midstream is not gonna show up in the VOD, but it would make sense later. But yeah, nothing really much other than just playing Majora's Mask again, the game that's really dark. And I'm sad that really, at all, no game is going to come close. I need feet reference because I don't know how to draw feet. Whoops. And no one knows how to draw regular feet because if you look up feet references, it's always fetish art. Gotta find the right one. But yeah, aside from all the Zelda games, I would say Majora's Mask is like a classic. Obviously, well, all the Zelda games are classic, I guess. I mean, they're all good. I don't know what determines a classic from a Zelda game, but you never know. I guess I really like it. I would still say Spirit Tracks is my favorite overall. Well, no, actually, I would say Majora's Mask. If we're going overall, Majora's Mask is my favorite. But if we're going just with like a bias favorite Zelda game, it would be Spirit Tracks. In terms of like character, some of the dungeons and stuff, I just enjoy it a little bit too much. I think just because of Zelda, but the music is also just as good and all that. But like, Yeah, I'll say Spirit Tracks is my favorite, despite it not being the best of the best. The what's stream capturing? I'm looking for references right now. In I guess in terms of like nah, I lost my train of thought. For Majora's Mask is my favorite. For like a lot of the story and gameplay, like gameplay is nice. I've also just never I also never played Ocarina of Time, which was kind of funny. I got Majora's Mask over Ocarina of Time because it was just what I seen from Sir Conroy. So I got Majora's Mask instead. And it was fine, but someday I do have to go back and play Ocarina of Time. Yeah, I could do it on stream too, and that'd be another idea. I would prefer it to be a Game Boy, because then I don't have to I don't have to download something else again. But hey, you know, no one's perfect. The other thing is, I'm just gonna look up. Oh man, I should just look up. That's better. I would say that even though Majora's Mask, a lot of people are praising that now. I don't know what current Zelda cycle we're on right now, but excuse me. Ocarina of Time is fine. It's like typical Zelda and everything, but really believe that like Majora's Mask is a very different Zelda. Mechanically, in story, and stuff like that. I enjoy it. Is it the best at it? Yes, because there's only one that exists. I mean, I don't know if there's any other game that uses time mechanics in that way. There might be some that, you know, like have time mechanics but aren't like in the same vein as Majora's Mask, you know what I mean. By that I mean like everyone has a schedule, like there's NPCs that have schedules, gotta keep track of those schedules to do side quests with them. But it's also not just the time mechanic, it's also like the whatchamacallit? Well, actually no, let me go back to the time for a second, because I realize that by the time mechanic, it allows kind of punishment in a light way. Oh, I wonder how the game would be if they went with their initial plan to make it a 7-day cycle. It would probably be the exact same thing, just longer. It's not like the game would be different or anything. It would just be like, oh, I'll have more stuff, maybe more. Well, then again, they also, like, with 7-day time, you probably could say like you wouldn't have to reset time. Reset time would be a punishment. Yeah, they got a lot out of it, and I'm really glad for it. I'm still wondering, and I really want to test it out someday on my own. I don't know if there's someone who already did that. Trying to complete as many side quests that involves happiness in one cycle and then beat the game with all the items. Like, yeah, you get everything, and then you try it in one cycle, make as much people happy with the side quests, and then fight Skull Kid. Excuse me, gun. Anyway, about the time mechanic itself, like, I realized that because there's a time mechanic, the punishment is a lot there, because you know in like other any game that has side quests, like if you don't do them, it's just like it's fine. You know, they only progress when you want them to progress. Like isn't there one, I think, in Xenoblade Chronicles or something, and oh my god, I don't know how to draw feet in Xenoblade Chronicles where they there's like, I remember this one where you have to save someone from like an icy cliff or whatever, but then like you can pretty much beat the game at the very end and then complete the side quest. So there's a time between when you get it and then you finish it, and it's so long. Just abandon that poor guy there for all of eternity. And I think with the fact that Majora's Mask has a time mechanic in it, it allows you to punish you for failing to meet those times or failing to be there. Excuse me, Xenoblade? Yeah. Like, they can punish you, but then be like, oh, just reset time and you can try it again. But it's still the I don't know how to draw feet. Wow. There's still the guilt that you failed that one time, like Romani's Ranch. Like, if you either not make it or or just fail outright in protecting the cows, like you'll get a little cutscene that shows Romani being taken away as well. And then and if you didn't even show up, you come back and you see Romani, just the cows are missing, Romani's kind of brain dead. Yeah, it's creepy stuff, but I like that it like punishes you lightly. Like, yeah, you have to reset time and everything, and then you can do it and it's all fine, but there's still that guilt that you just fucked up one cycle that I like, and that is really dark, but it's fine because, you know, it's a kids game. They wouldn't terrorize they wouldn't freak out the kids playing it, right? Right? I still don't know how to draw feet. What the hell? Give me one that's flat. That's better. I think this one will have to do. Yeah. Yeah, have mic on. Just us being dark and good is fun. God, yes. There's not a lot of dark games out there that really drive that feeling in. I want to make a collectathon with a dark theme and story with it, because even though like everyone has their, you know, their platformers now, we got, you know, Hat in Time and Odyssey and all that kind of stuff. Like there isn't a dark platformer, you know, there isn't a platformer that's really dark. And also, I need to sketch this before I draw this, because Jesus Christ, I don't know how to draw feet. How it goes? Oh, hi player, it goes well. How it goes to you too, Purple and player, I almost got them mixed up. So they're doing dark themes, it works so well, but now they kind of don't do that. Yeah. It's sad. I mean, oh god, even in Breath of the Wild, I guess. Well, in Breath of the Wild, kinda, because it's a typical, you know, post-apocalyptic world. You know, the hero fell. You know, Link technically died in that game, and you're just revived and get to try to save everyone that's dealing with the recompussions. It definitely isn't as dark again as Majora's Mask, but it has a hint of darkness there. And it's not just Nintendo though, it's like any game. Any game doesn't want to do dark. Even indie games don't want to do dark. If it's dark, it's horror theme and that's it. It's not like kid friendly or anything. Should have also created more subtle, we'll see with the environment, yeah. Then Age of Calamity proof how right that was. I'm doing better than today, doing alright. Good to know. It's been harsh days. Even a harsher day is coming up, but hopefully winter will be kind. Which is sketching. This is just a feet reference because God knows I, for some reason, forgot how to draw feet. But also, this is the comic, just doing line art. Yeah. This is panel 2. Once we finish this, it would be like 3 panels. So, 4. Ew, feet. I don't think Aya has shoes, though, in any of the art. More like Aya manga. This is her origin story as android or whatever. Like, if this is, I don't think I would like upload it to any comic or webcomic site. Maybe that would be funny. Just call it like Lame Dimension Comic Episode 0, kind of like Haruhi Suzumiya does it, I think. Or that little commercials I did is considered Episode 0 or something. I don't know, usually it is when I watch it. Except it was intended to be a loli from the start. Hell yeah. Oh, I should put different music in. This one. Hopefully you guys can hear it. You guys can't hear it. It's too quiet. I got choosing some art. Not all art, though. So I'm gonna leave it barefoot because I also need to practice on feet. As you can clearly tell, oh my god, I'm terrible at it. So I'm also gonna put in like Yume Nikki music, fan game music, because, well, also loop tracks because God, I have to be addicted somehow. And also this track recently I really love, and I don't know why. Something about it just feels like a weight has been lifted. I don't know why. God, I love, it's the beginning part too, like this part right here. I'm gonna reset it. That beginning part, I don't know why, but I love it so much. I don't know why. When music has that little thing in there, I don't know, like reverse sound or whatever, I love it. Oh shit. Comic is updated. Is this the second comic? Hey. I'm streaming right now, but I'm gonna read it later. What you mean? Original logos? Yeah. Aya being Aya. I think I just love Yume Nikki a little bit too much. At least the concept. Playing with games is definitely a trip, and I'm not the one for horror because you don't know which fan game can just put jump scares or just something that will get you. And I am very weak to that. I was very afraid of Yume Nikki when I played. And now I'm considering playing this Yume Nikki fan game that looks nice. The problem is, I have a few problems. One, obviously I don't know what it is. I don't know, like, I've seen the game, I see like the first world, and that was it. I've seen that there was events, but that was it. I just thought like, huh, this looks cool. And then that's my first worry, like, what kind of scares will it present? I'm used to dark things, but jump scares are annoying. I hate being startled. Which one is it? Oh, re-in, I think it's what it's called. Like colon or parentheses, and no, not parentheses. Re-in, I think. Yeah, it's version 0. It's literally like very early, but it looked so nice that I thought, it might have been finished. There was a video on YouTube and everything of it being complete, and it was like 40 minutes. So I thought it had some content in it. Kind of like answered prayers. But again, the warning is always, I'm not good with the unknown, and especially when it's a fan game, you don't know what kind of horror they do. You don't know if suddenly there will be a ton of jump scares or anything. They're annoying, but man, do they freak me out. I might play it though, who knows. There's so many Yume Nikki fan games. I think I'm just so into it. Imagine a Yume Nikki fan game having a jump scare. I mean, that's the thing. Especially, like, I know .flow doesn't. I know Yume Tuki doesn't. I know a lot of the popular fan games doesn't. The thing is, Re-In, I don't hear much of it. I don't know much about it. So, it could have one. There are sometimes I've seen other fan games have like just a random scream or some loud noise or something that could be considered a jump scare for no reason. It's a mess, but that's what happens. That's what happens. Alright, let's continue. Let's need to focus and not get distracted. So that's Aya. She's I keep making a mistake of making the head too long, so I kind of always have to readjust the head, but I think it's fine. You can tell by the sketch that the body was much more slimmer, and it didn't make her look like a kid much, or a loli much, so I had to square up her body a little bit, make her a little bit more flat. No flat in breast, but also like her back is less curved. It's more of a square. Yeah, that's good. But a lot of the other thing is I like having new Maniki dreams too. I really expressed my dreams before, and I really wish I would really love to have another one of those Yume like dreams, because I had the one in the moon was really interesting, because it wasn't, you know, just exactly just the moon. It had like very few trees. There was an atmosphere and I could barely breathe, and it was like a school trip, so it was like a common thing too somehow. And I don't know why my brain thought that up, but I am always happy to return. I think I ever had a Yume Nikki dream. I think it's just like, well, it's also kind of maybe not being Yume Nikki dream, because if we define a Yume Nikki dream, we really mean like actual control over ourselves, walking indoors and random areas. Like, that would be like an actual Yume Nikki dream. But I guess what I'm just describing is just a regular dream that I remember. I guess the reason I call it a Yume Nikki like dream is because it's able to be put in like, you know, a fan game. There wasn't much talking, there wasn't much dialogue, there wasn't like an event or something I remember. It was like something I've never seen before. Oh, actually, if we're gonna bring up dreams once again, I gotta tell you, I actually remember another dream, and this one's really dumb. How about a movie that doesn't exist? I actually dreamt that I dreamt, and I thought I was watching this movie, and it had an interesting plot and everything. It had interesting characters, but then like I woke up and I started doing my normal things, and it wasn't until like I was just sitting in bed looking at my phone, I was thinking about that dream. I was like, huh, I really need to finish that movie I saw, because I don't know how it ends. I forgot how it ends. And the second I thought of that, I realized, wait a second, that I don't know the title of the dream, the movie. That was all in my head. And I just somehow dreamt of a fake movie that I don't know the end to, and that's gonna bother me for life. It was interesting, but I don't know much of the plot technically. Like when I woke up, I felt like I've watched it, incomplete story dreams. Well, I had an incomplete movie dream, so I'm in the same boat in that case. If you want a little bit about the plot, again, it's a movie dream, so it's very dumb and it won't make sense in real life. So my dreams are game inspired. So are mine sometimes. And there goes player. The strongest muscle in proportion to its size in the human body is the tongue. No, that is, I think, the jaw. Wait, no, that's bone, I think. Strongest muscle... Wait, the tongue isn't a muscle though, is it? Nice. But anyway, the plot was that this guy moves into an abandoned apartment, and there were rumors that that room has a safe in it, a safe that is attached to something, and the owners left it there because there's a code combination or a key or something, I don't remember what it was, that it could have never been unlocked for some reason. Like, the person who lived there is missing, like, and no one knows who they were, where they went, and they think there's something interesting in the safe, but they never managed to open it because they don't know the code. But then the guy moves in, he tries a crack at it, and the safe opens. I don't know what was in it, maybe like a special ticket or something, but it was something in there that was special, and that was like the plot. Another thing was that, like, the guy kept running a lot in different areas, and I think at that point, I think the brain was replicating the disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya because it felt the same. Go BRB a bit. Alright, see ya, player. So yeah, it was kinda, but not with Haruhi or anything. It was like about a safe. It was wild. And I don't know how the movie ends because it was all made up. Rip. I don't think these should be back there like that. I have a manga up right now of like a style I really like that I'm trying to see what these guys do, you know, for line art and stuff, how they look like for shading and everything. All of it is kind of consistency. Yeah, a lot of it is like consistency. Like, you can tell they keep some of the things the same, but not like this. I mean, like, this is a lot different. Like, you would have one that's like this, and then you'll have another one that's a bit smaller in a different direction, and that would make it a little bit more dynamic to look at. It's not just repeating. You'll have like a little strand in the end like that. I can't say I know what I'm doing. I can only say it just looks good, and my brain has decided that this is good, and I'm gonna leave it like that. A lot of artists, or a lot of anything really, is not really knowing, but it's just like, you know, this equals good, that equals bad. I think that's what people get confused by when like big artists say like they don't know what they're doing. It's like, I don't know why you guys like me so much. I don't know what I'm doing. It's like, well, you know what's right and you know what's wrong in your art. So clearly you know something subconsciously. You just don't really can say it well, because I can't really explain my decisions. Wait, was this the girl that had? No, that's the other girl. Why do you have this? I'll keep that, but I'm gonna make you have the curls in. It's all magic to me. Fair, yeah. It's just a lot of experience, and like, I know this equals good and that equals bad and everything, but you can't explain it. Like, for this one, I will look wrong if I just copy and paste it. So I think I'm just gonna have this be like a smaller version of that, so that it looks, you know, mirrored but not exactly the same. But I also needed to make it look good so it doesn't look bad, and that is, I know how I know how my bad is with my good because I've seen it a lot of times before. So like this is fine, I guess. I need a regular pen. This is not regular pen, but I'm gonna take regular pen. I wish others wouldn't spend so much time complaining in public. And that is why I unfollow the second I see someone complaining on Twitter. I don't care who they are. If they complain, it's an instant unfollow. Every time that happens, too, I have like a little voice in my head. I don't... Wait, what was the voice? Oh, shit, I forgot the voice. It's just like this loud voice that's just like, who dares to send negative feeds in my Twitter? And then I just unfollow. Yeah, I usually unfollow. If it's a retweet, then I give it a warning. Like if it's if someone that I follow retweets someone that's complaining, I block retweeting from them as like a small warning. But if they start to also complain, then it's an unfollow. Now, I know the ethics could say that this is ignorance is bliss. However, I prefer to keep my mental sanity, and I know that I can't run away from any negative thing, and I understand that, but I prefer it because it's not of my business and everything. If I can't act upon it, then it's not worth my time. It is like the what's it called? It's like the solemn vow in Valve and solemn vow in TF2, the melee weapon. Like, yeah, I'm a medic. I can see the other team's health, but I'm a medic. I can't do shit with that. So why bother even have the weapon in the first place if I can't do anything about it? You know? Oh shit! This has the same problem as the other ones. Hang on. I need to edit this. So I don't know if you noticed this with art, but like, or at least anime art. But a lot of them have their eyes in a certain place in the face. And it's usually right, like I can't really, you know what, actually I can show, what the hell, I can actually show you. Like this is a good example. No, not over there. Here. So this is Remy's face in the Dojin I'm using to make sure like the lines and shading is all right. There's some things like the sketching here that I'm not gonna quite get, but like the shading and line art is pretty good, so I'm gonna keep it. Anyway, you notice how like the eyes, I should make this red. The eyes here are right near this small bump. It's hard to tell, but there is a bump there, and then it's the bigger bump, the cheek that goes into the mouth area. So that's like if I do this and I extend the head here, like about this is the head size. So like the hair kind of gets in the way, but you can kind of see the head here. So that's what I realized. Like you can see the eyes are a little bit too high from that. They're a lot over here, and the curve is a little bit too much. They're a little bit too high, and I kind of want to put them down. Hi Pudium, how are you? Yep, and I also have a mic on this time because I actually feel like talking this time. Now watch me suck at art. So I'm gonna put the, go back to black. I'm gonna put the eyes a little bit lower, but I'm gonna make the actual eyes, like the eyelashes, big to represent shock. What is it? Stream was muted, that's why I couldn't hear. Haha, yeah, I had my mic on. That's why I put it in the title. It should be in the title, right? Did I have my mic on? Yep, it does. Okay. I guess I can also put text in the bottom with a microphone. Maybe I'll draw that someday. Not today. Let me fix this face because it looks horrible. That's fair, that's fine. Okay, I think that's better. I think this needs to go up. That's a little bit better. I think this die needs to be a little lower probably. As with the dose. Probably like that. Nah, that looks a lot better. Alright, time to line art. I love this song so much. I get addicted to the song. I'm the kind of person. So hope the looping song doesn't bother anyone. It's gonna bother someone, but I can't help it. I'm the kind of person that would listen to a track on loop that will help me focus. I can't just listen to a playlist. Actually, do I even have? Oh shoot, I don't have. Hang on. I just realized I don't have the music title on. There we go. Water. I got water right here. It's almost out, but it should do me for this stream. I should turn on the lights too. Give me a sec. I'm never gonna get the 30k. Well, stop throwing water. Already wasted about 30k of points already. Hi, Matchy. Yes. This is a little doujin practice for when I start to make a real doujin that I have planned. Like, this is the first panel. It's kind of done. I don't know if I will edit it more later. But for this one right now, we're doing the line art. The beginning of your doujin career. What is this about? Looking good. It is a small story, a fictional yet kind of true story of... Okay, this is gonna take us a place to do. I took the imaginary Lame Dimension Studios, and if you see the chat, you know that there is a bot named Emoto. And I decided it would be funny if I made this little joke, like, okay, Chair reveals, like, to the studio something. It's an android of Aya. She's real now. And then I'm gonna show the other comments. Like, it's just a ton of, like, here's the features, like, here's the stupid things Chair would make his little sister to do. And then at last, I wanted to pull this joke. Like, Chair would be so excited to say I love you Oni-chan to him, and Aya would just open her mouth and the house will blow up. I thought of that and I told it to Chair and he laughed as well, and I really wanted it to become a thing. So this is just like practice for when I start doing like an actual doujin. Will I put it online? I'll put it on Twitter, but I don't know if I'll put it like on something like on like webcomics or whatever. Want me to point out the typos? Don't worry, I know that there are typos in there. That's just me. I do a lot of typos. God, even my speech I do typos. Something to draw. Didn't you draw Chair though? I thought you already did in stream. Oh, a proper picture of Chair. Okay, fair enough. chair and matchy style. I mean, she already did. It was on stream. Yeah, I don't know who these three characters. I don't know who they are. They were just random girls that would be kind of like the ones that are dealing with chair. I thought about like asking you guys like, what are your features? I can put it in, but not a lot of you are girls, and it would make sense because I was kind of going for a new game anime kind of deal. That would too free art. Been running for a while, and those characters are just random. Yeah, they're just random. If I were to actually start doing a doujin, the thing is that if I actually do a doujin like about Lame Dimension, it would be weird because I need to take into account that I'm gonna be drawing like real people. So right now these are just random girls, and really the focus is just Chair and Aya. Can I name those girls? I don't know if they're gonna stick around though. That's the thing. Or I have the fictional 2D persona. Fair enough. I did wanted to ask, but I thought for this one I'm just gonna make them like random girls. There wasn't gonna be anyone suspecting. I thought of adding myself in there as well, but I thought like, yeah, I'll just still make it random girls. Girl 1, girl 2, and boy 1 that is a girl. The only other game, well, recently, even if it wasn't released recently, is Anodyne, and only the first one. I haven't played the second one, and I kind of want to play the second one. That one is actually kind of a creepy game. It has some unsettling things. I encountered in one area I went out of bounds, and I was exploring the darkness outside of a dungeon. And then I discovered that like this vibrating red object, and at first I was like really scared for a second, until like I was still like wondering what the hell was that, and was like carefully approaching it. And when I did, all it said was like, "Hey man, you want to smoke it?" And I was like, "Okay, that's weird." It was still weird even after I talked him and left, but man, that was still a trip. Damn, I used Ruffles today. That's what you get when you push the horn of Aya. Ooh, more Night Margin art. Oh my god, I love Night Margin's art, especially when it's stuff like Yume Nikki or One Shot and everything. It's so good. Hey Mata, would you like a free tattoo? These are stickers. Oh my god, Night Margin. Oh, sorry, I'm drawing over someone again, but like Night Margin's art and humor is perfect. Alright, back to drawing. First girl done. We'll shade later. We have enough time. It's not like we have 3 days or anything. Yeah, then when anything, I had the Unis on the stream played, and I was also playing the final hours from Majora's Mask. That was a perfect fit. Game's fucking depressing. It's still, I guess depressing is a good word to put it, even if like, I don't know. I would play it, but the gameplay is too rough for me. You're not the only one. I was telling my friend, hey, you know, you haven't played Majora's Mask. You want to play it like together someday? Like I would watch it and everything, and he was like, it doesn't seem like it would be the right game for me. It's like, all right, that's fair. It is not for everyone, obviously. Not even Zelda. It's not even like just Majora's Mask. Like most Zelda games, he's fine with, but he doesn't like honestly feel like playing. Maybe someday, who knows? You know, games that I want other people to play, I would be elated. Well, if it by saying gameplay's too rough, are you saying like you played it and it was too rough for you, or like you think it would be too rough on you? But the gameplay is yikes. How is gameplay yikes? Explain to me why do you think gameplay is yikes? Because it's still like normally it's a normal Legend of Zelda game. Like mechanically and everything, it's a normal Legend of Zelda game. There is not much difference in that. There is difference like about the time mechanic and some of the dungeons and stuff. I couldn't get used to the camera controls. Okay, fair, but also a lot of Zelda a lot of the 3D Zelda games are like that. Well, actually, no, not Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild doesn't have that camera. It died for me for a moment. Oh, at least you're back. Couldn't use to Super Mario 64 early 3D. Yeah, that's the problem. Super Mario 64 is a masterpiece, but it is definitely for people who can handle the camera. I know people that agree Super Mario 64 is a masterpiece and a classic, but they will refuse to play it just because they can't handle the camera. I understand that is a big problem, and especially for people that like can't wrap their head around like imagining the platform or stuff like that, or get too dizzy on it. Definitely, but man, I can't. That's the sad part, because it's like they're missing out of the game. Steven, like something like Pikmin, like original Pikmin, people can sometimes not get used to the camera sometimes because it swings around a lot. And also, you know, the AI, that as well. But if you can somehow find a way to trick it up with like either a camera mod or something like that, if that was even possible, I don't know if it probably is. Then it could be better, but yeah. A game I would want to have someone play. I don't know if Chair's played this. And I don't know if he would like to play this, because it's definitely not anything fighting nor platforming or anything like that. But I would just like him to at least try and see what he thinks about Patapon if he hasn't played it already. I don't know if he's like the kind of guy who played every single game in the world before I was born, but that would be really funny. At least Patapon 2, not the first one. First one is the tech demo. God, I love this music. I think it's just the piano and the background sounds as well. Oh god, it just has a finality to it that I love about some indie making. Indie making games have some great music. Sometimes, not all the time. Sometimes the music isn't that great, but for but in some of the fan games like LSD Dream, LSDDEM, that has a lot of melancholy kind of feel music. God, I love. It's so melancholy and sad. For some reason, I have a strange interest for games that tell a story about death and stuff, aka Persona 3, and aka why. I think because it's just a topic not a lot of people can talk about. Everyone like either tries to ignore it or just not acknowledge it. I mean, it's kind of also funny. In Majora's, in Ocarina of Time, when you die, you get the text "Game Over" and you restart where you normally restart. But in Majora's Mask, that doesn't happen. You die, but you just get put back into the room you just went in, and it's like, is there no consequence? No, it's just like death doesn't matter because restart time. You can't outrun it. That's just an interpretation anyway. It might have been just like, it's not even a big deal because Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, their deaths are similar anyway. But I think, I don't know if there is a punishment for dying, like losing your rubies or anything. I just know that I haven't died, so I don't know actually. I actually don't know what happens if you like technically die. Start at the back of the dungeon area. I don't know. I did die once while playing Majora's Mask so far, but I had a fairy, so it was a waste of a fairy too. I landed in a toxic pool accidentally as Link instead of the Deku Scrub, and I just slowly died. There are some instant death traps in Majora's. Well, one that I know, and that is the what's that ghost? Sharp, I think, the one that starts playing its death music. If you fall into the water, the little water in the well, you can't get up anymore because when you try to climb, the hurt animation plays, and that knocks you back into the water. So, and you can't play your ocarina to get out. Can't put on any of the other masks. Even Mika won't help you. It is kind of funny, but it's also like one of the instances where if you fall in there, you're kind of dead for sure, no matter how much health or potions you have. Game design. Every game has some quirk that seems so broken, or at least not realized. I mean, technically, it's your fault for falling in there because you don't even have to be there in the first place. You don't have to get into the water. That's just there because it's a well, and it makes sense later on when you can dive under it when there's a ton of water. But yeah, because you're technically just supposed to immediately understand you choose to play the Song of Storms or either leave, and if instead you just jump into the water instead, it's kind of on you. Yeah, it's just the way I see it anyway. Anyway, this is the one that's going to be calling the police. My problem is that I'm kind of ambitious. Well, I just want to check out the fishes in the well. There are no fishes in the well. It's the land of the dead in that area. I don't think there's any fishes in there. And even if you did, you can't use the bottle because you have to actually be standing in order to grab them. But Cody, the fishes. They are alone. I thought about making a Yuminiki fan game for coding practice, but I think the one I'm working on right now is the one that's coding practice. And then when Cher finishes his game and gets everything else done, he doesn't have to, but it would be nice if he helped me teach a little bit about coding and everything. At least so I can help him out with like games and stuff so he doesn't spend 72 hours in his home without food or water. Take it easy. Even I don't think she agreed per se. I thought of a Yuminiki-like game, not necessarily. Well, a fan game, not really a fan game even. It would be kind of on its own, but it'll take inspiration from Yuminiki. Is that having like fair. Having more than just one person be the one you explore for dreams, like maybe 6 or more, maybe less than that, I don't know, but like I can spoil it. It's gonna be years for the game to come out anyway. I have my own ideas. It might even change midway, who knows. The ending, I thought, like, oh, let me take the game first. So like you're in this facility, I don't know if I said it before either. You're in this facility and you're tasked to like solve things by going into the people of their dreams. Like they pay to have their dreams like fixed or whatever, and you're there to kind of ease their mind and everything like that. That is a way too tiny eye. Most gonna be total about 7-year long form RPG history. It's impossible to convey the world to newcomers though. Yeah, they're gonna have to establish if you establish a series that kind of explains those things and then you make that game, then it can be explained, like, because then you end up being like kind of Deltarune, where you have to expect people that play it already played Undertale to kind of understand some of the things. I remember there was a video for the longest time that I always felt annoyed by. That it was like a video saying like, I had my mom play Deltarune and she was so confused because the game doesn't tell you shit and stuff. And it's like, well, the game asks you to play Undertale first. It requires you to know the knowledge of Undertale. Oh, bye Matchy. Hope you have a nice rest of the day and hope your streams go smoothly. And yes, I've heard and like possible game stuff, and I heard the motivation to learn coding. It's if you can't get motivation, then get what's the other word? Discipline, I guess. A little bit of discipline. Kind of resetting that universe. Ah, okay, fair. Like when I draw, I don't always have motivation. It starts off by a little bit of discipline, like a little bit of force. Like I need to just start like 5 minutes at least. Start with doing 5 minutes of it, and then see if you can get the ball rolling. And if the ball starts rolling, then you can keep drawing. I started streaming art because I just needed to force myself a little more. The Dreams was also the gimmick of the protagonist that said to use, by the way, so that's kind of ironic with your fan game. Yeah. I mean, Enter Dreams is like a lot of games, really, sometimes. The climax that I wanted to go for, well, not really a climax, more that you have to figure this out on your own, is that some of the characters you enter the dream is, you'd never see them in person, but only in the dream sometimes. You only know their name, not even their name at times, because sometimes the name would be redacted for like company policy or something. That's the excuse I gave. And the reason and I wanted to do that because I wanted to set up that you would enter one of these redacted name dreams, and then slowly piece together that the person you're in the dream of is like being bullied with some, with some classic Yume Nikki symbolism, like you can tell this person's bullied. Why isn't the screen moving? There it is. That's weird. Like a lot. What is the name of the tail character that hangs around and lightning green person and Futo? What's the name of the toe character that hangs around this lightning green person? I don't know. I don't know much about Futo or Maybe it's Miko. I don't know. Oh yeah. I thought there was more. The climate and like, okay, so continuing from that, you would understand that she was like either bullied or like kind of driving to suicide because, okay, here's something I liked about Yumi Nikki. There's foreshadowing that Matsuki is going to jump off, and that is with the witch effect. The witch event, I mean, where you can, you know, disable the effect mid-flight and she would fall down her bed, which I always consider that to be foreshadowing. So it would be a foreshadow of that in the dream, but you still wouldn't know the girl personally. You don't know her name or where she is. But now, like, you kind of have as a secret goal of to try to find her and prevent that from happening. And what you would do is you would connect what relationships that girl has with other characters and look in their dreams to see for some kind of code or secrets. Like, for example, there would be someone in someone's dream, you would find that some numbers, and that would be like either her phone number or like room number of her apartment or something, or a code word or something. And you have to piece together these different codes and puzzles to eventually track her down and then stop her from taking her life, which would be, I don't know, I think that would be cool to put that kind of message in, that this total stranger with the active dreams without meeting her trying to change something. I don't know, it's stupid, but it was an idea that I thought was nice. Miko special is the spawn of Futon, so she was just a ton of Futon and running around. Rip. Should only have it for one. But that was the idea. I need a better button. Anime button reference. And when you need that, you go to Safe Brew, not Danbaru or Gel Brew, because good God. No, that's not what I want, damn it. Okay, maybe Danbaru. No, I prefer Gel Brew because that has more hentai. You didn't hear that from me. Na 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 na. Changing dreams, changing lives. Yeah. Very Prey needs ton of support. I don't know if it's support pieces for Danbaru since it got a lot more pog drawings. Fair, I guess. But Jailbrew is more accepting of drawings. I guess another thing was like, because you can fix other people's dreams. Like her dreams wouldn't be fixed every time it would come in broken, even worse for wear. I don't know. That's just again an idea. All right, let's do hair buns now. I don't know how to do hair buns, at least in this pose. So I wanted to protect into Cyborg Party member's dream, which was literally her program. That would be nice. That would be cool. And during lifetime, also changed sex from male to female and back several times. God, I wish. God, I wish that was me. Easy mode. Easy mode, huh? Can't get this right. Another thing, oh, the other thing is if I do, there's a problem with that. One problem that if I go with that kind of story and game, one thing that I would miss is if it was a purely Yumeniki fan game, I had an idea that if you collected half of the effects or whatever number, just not all of them, you would have the same kind of thing happen where like the character would jump off the balcony, except it would be like this little cutscene of them falling and then just landing, and then their soul would just rise up while credits roll. And then I had it. I thought it would be kind of neat, and it was sort of like a wholesome way. I don't know if it's wholesome, but if in a certain way, where the credits will like show the final like thank you for playing or whatever, and then the music will come back with the soul just like charging all the way back down, reaching the body, and then the flash of light, and then you're back in your room, but with a wheelchair or something, showing that there was damage done, but you kept holding on. I like it a little bit more. I'm trying to replicate these buttons, and it is hard. Maybe make an optional trigger for that alternate ending to take place. I mean, the trigger, something, I don't know, like, if I'm not gonna like really think like refining or anything, because like the game's not even made. But if I did make a purely Yumeniki fan game, that would be one of them. That would be not, I don't want to say bad ending or anything, because the problem with bad endings is that there's always going to be some moron out there that's going to think that's canonical in some way. So prefer to it just be an event that happens rather than an ending, because dot flow, doesn't it say like end 1, end 2, end 3, like they're all, it's not like they're different endings, they just show more information of what happens. Why bother having the end there? Is it an ending? It's not multiple endings, it's just, more info. An extension of the ending, they show more. Oh my god. VTuber memes, they get me somehow. What was this again? Oh, what was that? Backstory, internet committed, not lift. Wow, you and Machi, huh? Anything interesting on Twitter? Good Megamine. Some more art. And that's it. Twitter not active today. Konosuba is great. Oh, you saw. Yeah. Man. I'm sad. Kinda. Konosuba is great. I have some issues with it, but it did make me laugh a lot. I love the movie, especially the little film they did. I don't know if they were doing, like, they were showing it here. I don't know for sure. No, not on theaters. I watch it at home. I kind of wish I would watch it at home, but I think I would rather do that if like I had friends. So if like I had an anime friend or something, like, they'd be like, hey, there's an anime movie of Konosuba, you want to come and watch with me? That would be great. Oh well, I watched it at home, and it was still amazing. I loved it. Sad thing is, I can't recommend it to anyone. Like my parents watch movies every now and then, and as much as I would love to recommend them Konosuba, I kind of don't feel like they would enjoy Konosuba just because it requires knowing the series as well a little bit, and then it's a ton of sarcastic stuff. Rip the villain though. It was so, I love the irony that she was the one trying to fight back with love and everything, and then she was defeated by it of Kazuma tricking her. It's such like the another way you didn't expect, and I love it. That's Konosuba in a nutshell. You don't expect things to go the way they are. But I also love like what they did for the characters too. I like, even if it's small, I like the little scene of Aqua giving Kazuma blessings. Is the manga and story over? I wish it would continue to from of them to like fighting the final boss or whatever, the Demon Lord. Because I keep hearing people say that they theorize the guy that was the Demon Lord is actually the guy that keeps giving them the thumbs up, like the ones that keep encouraging them, because he's like just like with the people because he's bored or whatever. It's just like trying to find people that will, yeah. Something like that would have been nice. But hey, we can't all be winners. Something that's good and bad about drawing is that time moves slower when you work. So like I thought by now we've at least crossed an hour. Nope, it's it's only been a few minutes. Oh, actually wait, it has been an hour. What? Oh, I started on 4. Right. I started on 4. Technically I started before 4. But I thought I started this in like 3, or no, on 4 like 40 or something, and then I look at 5. I was like, oh, really? It felt like an hour, but it's only been 20 minutes. And I look at the time. I was like, oh, okay, never mind. It's been an hour. Oh shoot, that's a tangent. I have to make the phone bigger. Tip of art: if you're gonna draw, don't have tangents. What are tangents? Well, if you look at the sketch, you see that I drew a little bit of hair here, and that's true because there's supposed to be hair connected here. I guess I can just move the hair a little bit here. Tangents are that if I have hair going like this and a phone goes like this, it kind of feels like they're merging, and it looks weird. So one has to go in a hard stop like this, and then the other can, and then they can look like they're not connected. Unless you want them to connect, in which case, by all means, go for it. But, yeah. I think that sucks the most out of, like, not art class in general, but, like, a bad teacher in general, especially an old one, is that they teach you stuff that, like, is outdated. Like, I had a 3D class in college just because I wanted to get that. I considered doing 3D, but now it's like, no, I think I would rather, for now, go for game development stuff. Thought that was every art teacher. I had a pretty good art teacher. But for the 3D, it was very outdated. Like, we were watching, it wasn't current. I mean, like, yeah, you have to get through the basics and everything, but whenever, well, no, it's not even that his advice was outdated. It also didn't make sense at times. By outdated, I mean, we kept watching old, like, those old Pixar movies, like special features like Finding Nemo, but also, like, we were looking at old, very bad, you know, like the very early Pixar short films that they did? We were watching those. That's not a good representation. That was when like 3D animation was at its early, one of its earliest, or at least Pixar was. Even that Toy Story is still sometimes uncanny. But it's either an old man who teach you how to draw classic or the quirky colorful woman with her wacky art ideas. Yeah, pretty much. So it wasn't anything recent. It was a lot of things in the past. And it's like, it's not because we needed to learn the past. It was just because that's how he did it and he prefers the past. And I know this because he likes to talk about the past a lot. And it sucks because it's like, come on, man. Like, you know, times change. Another, and he was also very confusing because, okay, let me describe it because I can describe it a lot better. If I can remember correctly, in the 3D program and in the 3D art program we were using, to edit meshes, you needed to first go into a edit mesh menu, which then changes your options completely to only dealing with meshes. So you would have the regular controls, you switch the mode, and then it will have different controls specifically for the art mesh, for the like polygons or whatever. The way he was describing it was like with doors, and it was so much more confusing than it was supposed to be. Like, he spent like at least 10 minutes describing this door that we have to enter, and it made no sense. It was so funny. Like, I really wanted to say to him, I think I understand less by the way you explained it. It was that bad, but of course I didn't say it. Because he was the type of person that like you couldn't talk back to, you know? And when it came to help, I didn't ask him for help. I actually asked. He had this Asian assistant lady, and she was so cute. I loved her, but yeah, it wasn't the prettiest sight to be in that class hearing the lecture. But seeing her, like one time it was Halloween, or like close to Halloween, and she had a little outfit and it was so adorable. So anytime I needed help, I would ask for her help and not the teacher, because then I looked over and saw the teacher and it was like, oh, he's yeah. That class, oh, almost all the college classes made me realize there's a lot more wacky people than there are in high school. There was a guy with a camera just trying to get everything done. It was so weird. He tried to do so much more than what the assignment was trying to do. I can feel the pain, and I hate how art classes work. They just teach you the basics. Like if you want to know how they work, just watch Proco, the YouTube channel. He's basically like an online art class, kind of goofy though. Like there's some like jokes in there and kind of, I wouldn't say juvenile, but I would say kind of like, oh, like how do you classify school jokes? Like they're not funny to be, but they're not juvenile, you know? They're safe jokes, you know? I don't know, but Proco is pretty much that. Cringe. But even still, his lessons are great. They work well. Aside from that though, everything's been normal. Still haven't gone to classes though. I don't know what to do. Not even like I need to probably, the thing is like I could probably get a driver's license and then apply for some delivery thing. I would be elated if that was just my work. I just had to deliver things and that was it. At least for now, of course. It's not like I plan to make a living already. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I just have ideas of what I'm gonna do, you know? Again, like, I'm not expecting things to happen, but I'm hoping things will happen. That's the way to look out for. As to expect something to happen, it'll just be like, when everything's fine and calm, go and like take a class for something. Either go take a class for like air conditioning and stuff, like how be that kind of person so I can do that. And if it's not that, then just like for a while just be driving. And then if neither of the two, and if like if somehow in some way either video art or game coding is better, which it will almost never be, then everything will go to there. I'm not expecting that last part to happen, but if it happens, you know, that'll be fun. I think this face is fine. I like the how to be air conditioning class. I don't even know how I managed to get through school. I don't know how I did either. I had some pretty average to below average grades, but I still managed to pass. And then you feel so bad, and then at first you feel so bad, like, man, I barely passed, like, I'm not gonna go anywhere. And then you realize some trade schools or whatever, like, they don't care about your grades, so that feels better. I think right now priority is, like, if I can afford it and everything, I think priority is to work to afford that air conditioning class. I don't know if there's an actual name for that type of work, but I just know that's like what it does. So that, like, if I fall at all, that's gonna be the catching rope, you know, that's gonna be the rope beneath the ground, you know? You get me? You don't get me. In a way, I guess you can say, like, that would be plan Z. The final plan, that's the last I got at the end. While everything else is like... yeah. It's something. Better than nothing. Time is ticking. Where did I have that? I don't know where it went. I had an hourglass. Oh no, there it is. I want to get like one of those hourglasses that they spin themselves, like they automatically turn around when one is full. I just want to have it so like I look at it and constantly remember that time is ticking, just for a little motivation, I guess. Because with this one, I have to manually do it. So a clock, but like an hourglass is so much more aesthetic. I have a clock, it's on my phone. I would like that just because I like the aesthetic and it reminds me of when it's honest. Very stylish. Don't judge me. Don't judge the way I spend my money. I'm gonna spend like 10 copies on Super Let Chop Double Laser and Christmas to gift. Don't tell me how to live my life. We will make that event happen. At least I would push for that event. If Chair's not going to make that event happen, I'll do it. I'll make a little banner that'll be like, Super Let Chop is the best $10 or $1 gift you can give this Christmas. I've never watched this on this. Ooh. I knew them on the final day. If you're diligent and you want to cheat the clock a little bit, there are people that are uploading it. There are people in secret that are sending the videos that you can watch, whether it be on zip or download or on YouTube itself or on other whatever. If you look hard enough, you might find some videos about it. But if you don't want to do that, like Markiplier makes is basically Unus Annus before it was made. A lot of it feels like Unus Annus. It's just with Tyler, and Tyler included in it. Aside from that, like regular Markiplier, like food, like the food or Sour Patch Kid reviews he's done, those are kind of also in the same vein as Unus Annus. But you never heard that from me. Just saying. I'm not watching the videos again, even if they exist, because I agreed with the message. But damn, I missed a lot of goods. Yeah, sadly, did. One of my favorites is Ethan trying to pronounce skillet for like 10 minutes. He kept mispronouncing skillet to like he didn't know the word. He was like skillet, skittle. It was so funny. Oh my god. And another one is Mark trying to teach Ethan band, like how to be in a band, and like he was teaching him how to march with the trumpet and everything, like straight with the back straight and everything, but Ethan kept like sticking his ass out for some reason, and it was hilarious. Oh god. I'm starting to miss it now. See what you made me do. Another one of my favorites. They did this thing where they would green screen themselves, and then they gave it to the community to make videos out of it. And one very funny one is oh god, how do I say it? It was like someone made an edit of that green screen of Markiplier trying to lift something. It was like Unus's ego or something funny like that. But then like Markiplier in the green screen video said like E. I don't know what was the next words, but he says that, and the video just has the like Scatman music playing with the meme text and being like, E, there, guys, you said it. Markiplier said the meme. And they just burst out laughing. It was great. I miss it. And you know what sucks too, Podium, is that they, in the amount of time it was the final day, they made a video where they recapped the previous videos. Like, like they really did. They recapped, well, not like accurately, obviously, but it was like kind of recap. Like they kind of got what was the big moment in that, you know? You know, there's still actually, you know what? I wonder. There is still some content of Unus Annus in Markiplier's channel. Yeah. What's it called? I got pepper sprayed. Markiplier and Crank Gameplays pepper sprayed. They show clips of Unus Annus. So if you want to see a little bit of Unus Annus, they did post it on their channel, and they can play it. Yeah. So there is a little bit. There is a very little of it. It's not an oversight. I think that was on purpose. I think that was on purpose. They do have a little bit of Unus Annus in their channel, in their actual channel, but it's not the whole video. It's just a little bit of clips and then them talking like how it felt like. So you're not gonna cheat, obviously, but if you want a taste, there's also Tetsuka-Zuna-san is alive. Let's go. Yeah. There's also them talking about the end in their channel. About that was another one that they're talking about, and I forgot which. Another one of my favorite things of any community ever is the art. The art of people making Avunis honest about death and everything. It's so good. Ah, man. I would totally... It would be impossible, but I would have loved if that concept was taken to like an anime slice of life. Like... It's a slice of life, but these characters have to do as much as they can, otherwise they, well, no, otherwise or not, they die in the end. So no matter how much you're attached to them, they technically they all get killed. Hell yeah, like I remember I didn't think much of it at the time when it started, but then as I delved deeper and deeper, like it was like, oh man, I see the message and I understand. To be honest, Chair and others gave me more inspiration to do stuff because like the thing with Chair is that like, look at this guy, he's made a game of like $1 on Steam and I'm here doing absolutely jack shit. I need to do something. But also Unasanas was also like the time sort of deal. Like Chair was the motivation to make games and do the most I can with what I have. Unasanas was more of like the remembrance that there's a time limit. Yeah. I guess the same thing goes with Majora's Mask. I guess that's why I like it too, because it also revolves around a time limit. I mean, technically, yeah, in Majora's Mask you restart time. Is that every horror magical girl anime? I guess you're right. But like, I know you restart time in Majora's Mask, but you know, there are still consequences. Like, there's a ton of messages and themes in that game that represents that. I think my favorite is like Ikana Canyon probably, or Dormani from the Goron Mountain, just being like, it's too late for some of these people, so even if you, no matter how much time you restart time, you can't save them, you know. Kira, hi Kira, how are you? Oh, we're doing art right now. I'm gonna go stretch because God knows this, my back hurts. How are you doing today? We were talking about the sweet release of Death from Majora's Mask. If you like time death, let me introduce you to a game called Persona 3. I'm totally not obsessed with it. No. I will play the Persona games someday. I hear it's very good and everything. Someday I'll get into it. I don't know when, I don't know how, but someday I'll get there. That's the same logic I brought in One Shot, and I love One Shot. It's just gonna take some time. Busy with commissions in college. I know the feeling, man. Well, I don't know now, but I had the feeling. Vivian. Ooh, there's a girl named Vivian in this comic. I'm watching there's a comic that I'm looking forward to, a webcomic called... okay, honestly, I don't know what it's called. I'm gonna just send the link in chat. Boop, boop. That's the guy who also made Answer Prayers, and I didn't know he was making a comic, so I was happy with that. So yeah, like... I'm excited because it looks nice. It's black and white and everything, but like I kind of like the art style. I don't think it's really anime-ish, you know, but it kind of has that. Should read Rock coming again. There's a lot of webcomics, but this one's the one I'm going to be into. I guess also the manga of Fly Me to the Moon. Yeah, you know about it. I guess if also you don't know, like, the Yuminiki fan game talking about, there's a Yuminiki fan game called Answered Prayers that is pretty well known, actually. I mean, well, Nitrate covered it, so I assume it's pretty well known. And I really liked it. It's a really tame Yuminiki game, but still has some of the mystery element with it. And I am sad because Answered Prayers is never going to be finished, but some of the dev said that some of the themes of Answered Prayers will be in the comic. So even if we're not going to get a finished game with an ending, there is going to be an ending, at least for the comic, that might not connect, but sort of give a clue to what the ending of Answered Prayers would be. Again, I'm not expecting it, but I would be elated to see like an Answered Prayers reference in the comic, or alluding to like some shrine or a girl with the same jacket. I would love that. I love Yuminiki a lot. Can't you tell? That's what the music's playing. Yumituki. I missed one webtoon, but they never continue it. Called Crawling City. Ooh. If I remember, I'll be sure to check it out someday. There's a lot of stuff I'm keeping track with, and it's hard to remember all of them, you know? I need to make... I don't think... at least we'll get one page done. I want to make... I have an event theme in my server. Right now it's a post-apocalyptic theme. And I really need to make a drawing for that event for this month, because November is almost ending, and every time a month ends, the event ends, and all that kind of stuff. So I need to think of something... Don't know what though. I don't know, original or non-original, whichever. Yeah. Na 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 na. I'm yawning. Although I'm jealous I don't have time because of work. How much time do you think you have free? Like at least a rough estimate. Because you can somehow schedule the shit out of it. That's what I say. That's what I say to a lot of stuff. Like, wait, if there's people that say they don't have enough time, you should schedule the fuck out of it. Usually I draw for 6. Well, 6 hours is a pretty good time. Or 3. Wait, why when you're on high spirits you have less time? I don't think that makes sense there. Care to explain why when you're in high spirits you have less time? I gotta search a bit. Yeah, I'll be in the mic though. I just need to stand up. What's good with it? Maybe teens is uncovering entertainment from the past, arcade computers with the conscious about things that are fun compared to the dread of the current times. That would be a nice idea. I wouldn't mind that. Think of post-apocalyptic. I was also thinking one shot. Time gets snapped when you're high. Ah, fair, I guess. I was thinking of doing another one-shot drawing. Well, another. I don't think I've ever done a one-shot drawing, but I would do a draw of the environment because I need to work on that more. Yeah. But like, if it's 6 hours, like that's a pretty good amount of time. I don't think I even draw for 6 hours. I mean, this stream is gonna be 3 hours, and I don't think in the past I've drawn for 3. I finished the panel, but I think that was like 2 hours or less. I don't know. Maybe. Later today, gonna play with a friend, but also maybe play more Majora's Mask. I keep thinking like I should spend more time on like game development or something else, but it's always like, I wanna play game. I wanna relax for once, you know. I wanna have time to myself. I wanna play these games. End up playing a game that I should finish, but I don't because I just replay games. I'm at a point where now I have too many games that I have yet to play because people keep gifting me them or some to that effect. Okay. Uh-oh. I'm gonna watch it, Cody. Hi, Death. How are you? We're doing line art for a copy. Well, I was watching you too. Let me see. Are you still streaming? Yeah, you're still streaming. I'm just chapping in this chat now. Death does good art. His anatomy and stuff is great. Alright, back to the art. I'm still using the Paimon cursor, by the way. There hasn't been one that can top this. I'm pretty much hoarding all of these. If there's one downside to the animated cursors is that sometimes they're hard to tell. Double streaming watching. Nice. They're sometimes hard to tell if the icon that changes is very small. For example, the button to click for a link like is a lot smaller because it's the little jewel crystal that turns into a little finger, but that's harder to read instead of a different shape entirely. So you know. Na 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 na. I wanna, if I had all the time in the world, I would love, and the skill possible, I would love to make a, how's this gonna work? Like a huge RPG Maker crossover animation sort of deal. Like they all have a goal in mind and they have to cross over to different worlds to find help or an item or something. Because I would love to have this plot line where the girl in Yume Tuki, what's the girl, Urosuki? Is that her name, Urosuki? To be kind of like the sort of fan of Matsuki. Like I want to have this plan where Matsuki does not know anything about herself. Like she doesn't know she's caused the cult classic. She doesn't know like who made her, or like is she, or feels even complete. But then she meets Urosuki, where like they're like, she's always praising her, treats her like royalty or whatever because she's the originator, and it would be this kind of, I don't know. I just find that kind of dynamic kind of funny, of like a person does not seem themselves worth, but then this person is like saying like, oh no, you're like the best thing ever, and it's like, I don't feel like the best thing ever. I feel unfinished. I feel like I don't know my creator. Like, what is my story? And it's like, doesn't matter, you started everything. As what I did this hand wrong, by the way, because again, I'll say it again, I said it before, I'll say it again, Yume Nikki is an unfinished game. Do I still have Yume Nikki on my desktop? I need to check this. I'm sorry, but I need to check this. What version was Yume Nikki again? Version 0.10A. It is literally so young. Oh my god. Like, it is so, I don't even know, I always keep thinking that what's it called? I keep thinking that the Yume Nikki we got in the end was not the original idea for Yume Nikki. I don't know, because the fact that it was such in an early stage, by numbers, we're thinking of numbers right now, okay? Fan art popped up on my stream. I am magic after all. I am powerful. But like that's the thing, like what is it? The thing. No, hang on. I think I did this wrong. Oh yes, I did this very wrong. That thumb is not supposed to be there. I'll just erase it instead, actually. I was gonna say. I'm off, guys. It's time for class. Oh, bye, Kira. It was fun having you here. I lost my train of thought. If we're going by numbers, 0.10A does not. It seems like it's an alpha, you know, not even beta. So yes, Yume Nikki's story could probably mean nothing, or maybe it was in development. But I still am not so sure that like there's pieces that are missing, you know. There's something. The reason Yume Nikki's storyline has not been discovered is because there's just not enough pieces, you know. Kind of like the same deal of Petscop, where you can kind of piece together exactly what happened, but not exactly, just like a vague picture. Like, if I can boil down the Petscop timeline, it's basically there's a girl named Kara. She gets no. It starts off with Marvin. Marvin has like a friend. They go to a windmill. It's like one of her friends. They both die or one dies, and then he gets married to someone, so that they can have a child, and then try to turn that child into the best friend, and then that didn't quite work, I guess. And then they try to turn Care as well into someone else, and that fails. Like, and then there's also this whole game, like Marvin kidnaps Care, and then she eventually gets out, but she's kind of deformed and she looks kind of different, and then yeah, and then like Rainier just like makes a game to kind of not poke fun, but also like to remind like Marvin he did this and everything about the different things that happened. Like, that's kind of like the story of Petscop from what I can tell, simplified. But there's like how it happened and what exactly happened and what caused it that to happen and all that kind of stuff. Like, what is the person that's playing doing here? Yeah. I personally like the idea that the person playing the game, quote unquote Paul, is actually Care, but, you know, transformed into Paul. and he doesn't realize that he's actually the missing girl from the kidnapping or whatever. Again, we will not know exactly what would happen, but sort of. Same thing applies to Yume Nikki. We don't know exactly how everything's going to go down, but we know a bit of what it is, except the problem is, again, Yume Nikki is an unfinished game. It's not that we don't have the answers by choice, we don't have the answers because the answers are unfinished. You know? Open for theories. To be fair, I don't think Yume Nikki has a story. I mean, in my honest opinion, I don't think Yume Nikki has a storyline. That's just what I think. It's just like there's not enough pieces to really discern what happens. All of it is either interpretation or like, I believe this looks like this looks like this is this, and all that. Like, even if you find a good theory, the theory does not explain everything per se with clear cut. Like, I can't really give an examples, but I would wager that not that the theories don't take into account everything, just a few things. Ow. Okay, wish for someone to make a horror game, horror indie game smash game into reality. That's the art. There is art of that concept. A what? A horror indie game smash game. Like a fighting game that's horror based? Is that what you're referring to? I hope you sent a link. Oh, with the horror characters, right? Oh, Iritsu from that bunny game. Hell yeah. I forgot this one exists sometimes. I remember seeing that. Oh my god, that would be epic. And you know what? That thing that is so sad about that, the thing that is so sad about this is that was going to be the Dream Diary fighting game, but it was canned because it was all about fan games and not everyone agreed or whatever. That's the problem, is that it is a nice idea, but we need to have everyone agree on the same page to do this. And not everyone is totally friends with each other, especially when these people are Japanese. But man, yeah, I would love this to be a thing. I love those ideas though. Here's the thing. I mean, technically, legally speaking, we can make it for free. That can happen. Some people might be pissed, but at least no rights have been revoked, you know? At least no rights has been revoked. It's kind of like Super Smash Bros. It's Super Smash Flash, you know? Like, there's characters there that are copyrighted material, but because it's just a free Flash game, it doesn't matter. Technically, we can do the same thing. You know? Yume Nikki is a free property. The fan games are a free property. Some of these RPG games aren't free property, but their characters are, you know, it's just gonna be for a free game. If we have the balls to do that, it's possible. You know? It's possible. Someone's gonna get pissed though, and I like the idea. I just like the idea that someone can get pissed. I like the sorry. I also like the drawings that like they include some of the Smash characters. Oh, that's so good. Oh, that's so good. Is there any more? Oh, this artist did a Paris. This artist did a Paris. That's cool. My God. Found the Mega protagonist hidden behind the spoiler tag. Nice. Even Yurusuke is here. Huh, it's kind of weird. Not all the characters seem to be in one tag. Oh yeah, I guess they're not all the same tag. It's kind of weird. God, that'd be so good. I know I'm not drawing, but like I really like this. I've never seen this before. Looks sick in the render. Ah, man. Okay, back to drawing. I really like that idea. I really and it's just a solo idea I had for a fighting game. Well, not really a fighting game, more like a fighting adventure game. Is a game like Subspace Emissary, but like just the story and like just a multiplayer after. Don't make them for rivals of either. You can do that if you want. I'm not that big into fighting games. I like the concept of it. I like playing it casually, not competitively though. I got an F in art, no pun intended. I mean, I'm not good of a pixel sprite. I guess really Rivals of Aether is where most of the content goes. And making it would be harder to make an entire, it would technically be harder to make an entire fighting game rather than just put in Rivals of Aether. I can't blame you that, but it would be nice that, well, technically they'll have the pixel aesthetic, so it would fit perfectly. Just slap a PNG and you're done. Dude, I had a guy in my art class make his theme about fucking books. He just makes squares and teacher gave him an A+. Well, going back to the art class thing, you either have really good teachers or really bad teachers. You either have like the lazy kind, the kind that is really by the books, or like the non-creative type, or the very creative, the one that if you're able to explain the meaning a little bit, then they would give you a pass. And I think that's the best teacher you should aim for. I'll be going down. Have a nice day to you all. Alright, see ya, Pudium. Pudium. I didn't make that noise. Fucking bastard. What are the screenshots for Dream Battle? I need to remember how it looked like, because I think another thing that I really like about that kind of stuff, I just like the art. I like the art being the style of a fighting game, not just pixel sprites, you know? Like pixel sprites are fine if you don't do art and everything, but and yeah, like regular drawing animations is a lot harder, but it looks nicer, you know? Yeah, Dream versus Dream, that was the name. I think. Shiminiki Dream. Was it Dream versus Dream, or was it... Yeah, it was this one. Alright. Ah, man, I get just now I'm thinking a lot about it. Because it's not that we don't have representation of the horror genre or horror RPG genre, it's just that it's now like it's a classic that not a lot of new people know now. Because like a ton of big people played it back then. It was a popular thing, but I think it's not being known now just because of how times are. Having that kind of game, yeah. Again, I know it's a lot easier to do it in Rivals of Aether, because now that's the game for it, but it's a lot harder to specifically celebrate the RPG horror maker genre, you know? Funny how horror games get popular fast. Yeah, popular fast, and then I think it's just because there's not a lot of competition for horror games. Really think about it. Compared to something like first-person shooters, what's the competition for horror games? That isn't shitty horror games, mind you. Mind you that's a concept to think. That isn't a bad horror game. I think the mentality is like horror isn't really, how should I say, horror is a very alienated kind of genre in kind of almost anything, probably, because you're giving, technically speaking, you're trying to give a negative reaction, fear, terror, a bad, feeling. It's negative, and that's usually sometimes a risky thing, because you have something to sell. You don't want to give something that makes the person feel worse in some way. So while it is very popular, you're going for a specific demographic. Like, I don't know. Plus, I guess it's also the fact that a lot of horror games fall into the trap of just looking around and collecting stuff, because apparently that's where just all horror games peak, just collecting stuff. God, I remember the time where like Bending Link Machine was getting popular after Five Nights at Freddy's, and I was thinking, oh, another game that's became popular around the internet. Let's take a look, and then realizing, oh, it's just looking around and getting items. Not worth my time. At least Five Nights at Freddy's was unique. It's still unique. Hey, I need to get back to this. Let's draw a chair now. I need to draw chair loot someday. Don't tell him that. I haven't, despite not being able to handle horror games, I still really love at least the concept and idea and everything. I think I love more the whimsical and kind of, you know, strange side, being in a world all in my control, free to do as I must. I mean, I get horror from games that aren't even supposed to give horror. Like, is that a bow behind him? What the hell is that? Why did I draw that? Why is there a triangle behind him? Give me a second, let me get a chair reference. G tables. I always say I hate horror, violence, and blood, but then I freaking love Berserk and Golem's Higher Order Sex from horror series. Yep. Because it's like kind of like the spice in the world. No. The thing is that it's the spice of the world. It's not that it's supposed to be enjoyable in a sort of pleasure, happy sort of way, like a happy ending, but it's like deep in the subconscious, like a thought processor, like you have a change of view when you go through stuff, when you like sometimes you want to bring out violence, sometimes you want to bring out something violent and horror inside. For me, when it comes to Yuminiki games, is that it's like you're being placed in someone else's mind dream, you know. The surface of that dream in most fan games, or sometimes, you know, maybe in Dot Flow, maybe not. Like, you get to the surface, it's either tame or already corrupt. You're getting into someone's head, and the deeper you go, the deeper the thoughts are, and the more corrupted, and the more dark, and all that kind of stuff. It's still, it's horror. Yeah, it makes me afraid, and it makes me, you know, think of stuff. But it's also just interesting, because I'm thinking, what was this person's mind like, you know? And the other thing is, horror games are more acceptable for taboo things, because it's like, if it's something horror like a curse or something bad, you know, you kind of accept bad things in real, like, okay, here's a weird example. Imagine, like, when it comes to something like incest in real life, it's always like a terrible thing because genetically that's a bad idea. But if it's in a horror game and there's like a curse behind it or something like that, there's an explanation to doing that caused the bad thing to happen and everything, then it's a little bit more acceptable because you're in a place where, you know, horror, bad things are around me, that this thing that would have been bad at any other time is actually not as bad as the thing I'm dealing with, you know? It's that kind of stuff. You have going back to Majora's Mask. In any situation of a kids game, they wouldn't bring up this much about death and the undead and regrets or feelings of loss, yet they somehow accept it because, one, the game's pretty grounded, and second, the moon is falling in 3 days. You have met a terrible fate. That entire premise is like, it makes it not makes it mix well and makes you think like, huh, you know, these people are like so sad and everything, but I'm gonna save the world from the moon, you know. Super Paper Mario has hell. Yeah, But here's the thing about that, while it is pretty creepy and scary and all that, and there's a reference to just like, you know, Hades and hell and, you know, JD's Hades and all that kind of stuff and everything, is that one, they joke around with that a lot. They joke, like, you know, that one guy that says, welcome, you know, welcome to the like the name is literally underwear, you know, underwear. And then they make a joke of world -1 so it's a quirky reference and a quirky line. Yes, it is a deep point and it is really creepy, but they make it lighthearted. You have the what's the flying girl that they have to take to heaven? You have her to kind of, you know, lighten up the mood. You have JD's and her minions. And I only recently realized that the background's patterns is that of a family tree. Which one? Yeah, I don't know. And if you want to know how to make bad horror, it's if you have something scary that has no purpose or reason to be there. Which is what a lot of the creepypasta games are usually. Like, you know, the bad ones, they're just scary for the sake of being scary, which is why they are pathetic in one sense. That's why sometimes like creepypasta doesn't work, especially when done poorly. Let's see. In green. Oh, right. I never thought of it that way. I never noticed that. I thought it was just a random thing in the background. I didn't realize it was like a family tree. Always finding something new. Alright, Gunwire game approved, so it's gonna be public soon. Oh god. Wonder if Chair and the team and everyone would agree to do in a horror game. Maybe not a pure horror game, but like it's a minigame Chair made for a company he works right now. Ooh. If there's one thing I can't live up to Chair is having a job. I need a job that doesn't involve like working with other people, because I don't trust myself, and also I had a breakdown in one time, so I could probably take it maybe in my own comfort, but like because I had that experience, I trust myself less and it's harder. Like I said, if I had delivery, that would be a whole lot better, because then I'm on my own listening to music and I can only talk to people when I knock on the door. I can relate so bad. That'll be a story for another day, but I'll just say that much as detail. Someday when I trust you guys more. Ha 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 ha. I thought of making, you know, another thing that could also happen is, you know, that Subspace Emissary game. A little bit like dark themed though, like you're kind of, I don't know. I want to make a video about that though. I have a concept called like the orb. It sounds silly, but the concept is that when you play a game, you have a level of realism within the game, or a sort of understanding. I forgot what was the word I thought of before. But you have a sort of, you know, this thing you can hold on your brain, like this is the game, this is the world, this is the characters. And I want to make it detailed in how, like in Yume Nikki and stuff and some other games, you don't have it all the time. Yume Nikki especially, it tells you the game, how to like play the game, go into the dream world and all that, but then it just leaves you in the world and you don't know your goal, you don't know the girl, you don't know where you are, you don't know where you've been, you don't know who this is, you don't know who that is, you don't know where you are, all that kind of stuff. And like the orb is so gone that you can't comprehend like why are you here, why am I doing this, you know, all that kind of stuff. The same thing is kind of in the same level of Hollow Knight, where you don't know why you're there until at the end of the game you start to realize. But in the beginning it's blind. It's like, why am I here? Why am I fighting these guys? Why am I going down here? You know? I had the same music on loop in the background for 2 hours now. I think it's nice to leave some things unanswered sometimes. Oh yes, definitely. There's always someone. And the one thing though that I think, here's something unexpected. While I have some horror game, you know, scary kind of ideas for story and structure and that dark kind of stuff, place and everything. I think chances are Chair could not make a mysterious game if his life depended on it, because he gives out so many details of his stuff, of the games and characters. Like just even like when we were DMing each other on Twitter, he gave me a lot of details and stuff about that kind of stuff. And I don't know if he can handle like keeping things to himself, because that's what even a little slip when it comes to mysterious stuff can ruin the entire series for everyone. Like Petscop had the creator say that, oh yeah, some of the things in the videos were kind of mistakes, you know, some things were unintentional, you know, everyone has their own version of the story and everything, like there's not a concrete story. That made people so discouraged to continue finding the answer, because they thought there was the answer, the one answer that might be the, you know, the end all be on. But now if everyone's interpretation works, then it's like, well, what's the point? It's not like Yume Nikki where we literally have no clue what anything of this is. Oh. Hi, Def. I love you too. Did you finish your stream? Oh yeah, you did finish your stream. Love you too. We're just line arting this and we're about to be done. Well, about, and I say just like an hour. Time to go home and work on Let's Shop. Where's this game? I'm so glad he's not watching the stream right now, because he would be so mad at me saying that. But yeah, Petscomp's creator, he said too much, and by too much it was literally like two things. Like there were some mistakes in the videos and everyone's interpretation is valid, which made people believe that their interpretation was not the correct one and that some things were loose. Because my god, people went in depth to try to figure out like things like stepping, meters, how far things are, the map and all that kind of stuff. And when you just say things weren't all planned, I know that like the internet treats anyone that with like a pen and pencil can do something as gods, and like they know everything, they have everything figured out. Yeah, it's kind of hard to say like otherwise, because then you kind of take the magic away from them, and then they get mad. And then they get mad. How are you, Death, by the way? I saw you join a little bit. The reason I kept saying that there was loot is because it wasn't there like a girl's... it wasn't there a character like being shirtless there? No, I wasn't sure. But that's why I said lewd. And Death's drawing lewd. You should have a drawing where your lewd, like the character that you draw for to get looted, meets DBL. Also, that I don't know if that's how you pronounce DBL. I always pronounce it in my head as DBL. I don't know if it's like supposed to be pronounced like a word. Na 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 na. I think the other thing about Yume Nikki and some of the fan games is the mystery of the developer himself. I think mostly the biggest one is Yume Nishi and LCDDEM. But I think that's normal for any internet story, because there's always someone that goes away. It's happening less now, obviously. Like in the past, that probably would have been a lot more common as time goes on, but nothing can beat the everlasting someone just never logging in again for years and wondering what happened to them, who were they, and stuff like that. And no one wants to put the time and effort to try to dox them or anything to try to figure out what actually happened. Like, that's the thing. Why hasn't anyone done that yet? Why haven't anyone doxed Kikiyama of Yume to see if he's even alive or not? Because, I don't know, it's just not worth it, I guess. Because it's illegal? I mean, yeah, but you know. But you know. It's to check to see if someone's alive. They can move to another place if that happens. Oh my god, I'm horrible. Yeah, that's the saddest thing, is when, like, that's the limitation of internet. I mean, well, not a limitation. Oh, well, they both have limitations. There was a moment in Anodyne that got me thinking about that kind of stuff. There in Anodyne, there's a level, or just an area. You have these two, it's like one side is gray, or like gray green or whatever, and the other side is red. There's cubes stacked upon these what would you call cliffs with triangles in the bottom and around it. If you talk to the red box, it explains that, like, there's this rule that basically that basically has the cube say, like, with the triangles, like, whoever talks to the square, they pass whoever's king of the cliff to the triangle, and then that triangle becomes the king or the square, and then so on. So whoever and then the triangle, the one that already lost the king, has to go back down. And he says, the square says that he's sad that he can't keep a conversation for more than like a few seconds because the transition happens fast, and he never gets to meet the same triangle again. And then you go to the gray and green side, kind of like a mirror, and then the triangles are there in green instead of red, and they say that they're actually just holograms. And then you talk to the box with the crown on top, and he says there that he's been king for like millions of years, but he's really tired of it and wishes to leave the place, and that he wishes for someone, a triangle in person, to be with him instead of just by indirect conversation. Even if he knows all of them, he can never see them in person. And obviously it should be obvious what it's referring to, but that's the kind of stuff, you know, you meet someone, it's only for a few seconds, and then you never see them again. Usually you're lucky if fate tempts you to meet the same person. It's easier if, you know, it's in the same occupation, like a job and stuff. But if like, God knows if the person is like the person was like just being a tourist, was just visiting a relative for a month, or just needed to be here for like to grab something and then bail, like, God help that. But like, it is you're gonna have to tempt fate a lot to meet someone and then see them again another time. I had someone kind of be like that in college. While I was waiting for the bus, this guy just suddenly started talking to me while I was waiting for the bus, and I didn't want to be rude because I wasn't rude. I decided to listen. I wasn't doing anything else, really. You know, I wasn't doing anything else. Might as well listen to this guy out, you know, see what he says. So I listened to him, and he goes on about some things like investing, or sometimes like education, or just something like that. I don't remember clearly, but it was a meaningful conversation. He left, and then I waited for the bus. The bus came, and I left. And I probably will never see that guy again. You know? It's weird, but like, when I have someone on my friends list that has not been returned for a long time, I think of all the memories I've made with them, you know? Like, this person was a part of me, you know, a part of my life. We talked a little bit, you know, we had a time together, and now they're gone. They might have changed accounts, or I might never see them again and everything, you know? And then I remember that time, and while waiting for the bus, just this random guy talks to me, and we leave, and I didn't bat an eye. I was just focused on leaving to go to the bus at home. I wasn't thinking like, wow, this is my only time to make an impression on this person, and now they're gone, you know? You only have a few seconds. Make it count. What's going on in my server? They're talking about tracing. Well, tracing and like for learning. they're discussing whether or not tracing is a good idea for learning. So you know, I'm glad. My throat's getting dry. I think I might leave it here. I wanted to at least get done with the shading, but we got like not close enough. I don't feel like this was good enough for like 2 hours, but yeah, I'm not gonna try to rush things. It's been like 2 hours and 30 minutes. My throat's getting dry, and probably should eat something again. All right. Sorry for distractions. No, it's fine. This is my normal speed when drawing either way. I think I've made more progress than if I did on my own. I mean, like, there are some rare times where I can finish a drawing at once, but the thing is, this also needed, like, this was multiple characters, and I needed to get the anatomy right. Like, this girl's arm doesn't look right still. I don't know why. Alright, I don't know why. Actually, I do know why. The thumb isn't supposed to be outside. It's flipped. That makes no sense, doing the pose myself. I need to flip that again. I need to flip the... Oh, you know what? I need to redo this. Whatever. But I got most of the stuff done. That's fine. Tomorrow, we'll be doing some more. I'm gonna go for break time. Alright. Being at the keyboard here. Oh, speaking of which, I look at my timeline. I love sketching, but I hate line art. Alright. Who to raid tonight? We got Claus. Some person in Korea, I think. I think that's a Korea language. I don't know why I have them there, but they're there. They're doing art. Foxy Jarrell is doing art. Fox Andrea is doing the game Disgaea 5. I don't think I should do that because I haven't played that. Nanner Chu, which is doing art. And Vox. Oh wait, someone leave. Oh, Zero is doing art. Wow, we have a lot of people doing art today. Jesus. All right. Out of those options, who do we raid? Oh god, my chest snapped. Give me someone purple, otherwise I'm gonna take the call myself. It ain't gonna be pretty. I just know it's Vox, to be honest, because video games. Okay, fair. Alright, let's do... I haven't done Foxy Joelle in a while, but I haven't done Nantru as well. Maybe we can do Joelle another time. Alright, let's raid this one. Who did I bring from this one, actually? You know what? Hang on, what's Sarah drawing? Damn it, there's an ad. Well, what's Foxy Joel's doing? Is he doing model or is he doing... Oh, he's doing himself. You know what? I changed my mind. We're doing Joelle. I know I shouldn't change my mind, but I changed my mind. We're doing Joelle. I know, I'm a horrible person, but I haven't done Joelle in a while, and I want to do Joelle. Okay, don't blame me. All right, next time on stream. Next time, tomorrow on Tuesday, it'll be Wireland. We're gonna finish up Wireland 4, and then after that, probably more drawing until I figure out what game to play next. That, or I just play Titanfall 2 for once, and I stop being such a coward. You guys will be forced to check out my cool gameplay. Haha! See you guys next time.
Enjoy the 3 extra inches